Welcome everybody to our latest family diplomacy dialogue. These dialogues are happening from March to November on the first Sunday of every month from 12 to 1 p.m. New York time. They are intended as a basic exercise in family diplomacy. Um, in the long term, what we are looking to do is to empower families to participate in policy making. So, in other words, actually connecting families that are trained to governments, businesses, nonprofits, and the media to advocate for families. But in the meantime, as we are developing and growing the Family Diplomacy Initiative, we're doing these basic dialogues intended to get us talking to each other across lines of difference to learn about family life in different countries and to have discussions around that. So today we actually have one of one of my cousin's wife presenting to us. She is from Connecticut in the United States, and she has four kids, the first of whom just got married literally, I think about a week ago, if I've got it right. So she will be talking about her family. Her family is Christian, faithful Christian family, and hence why they're racing home from church. So so I think that's it for introductions. Does anybody have any questions or comments or want to share anything before she comes on? Otherwise, I'm gonna pick on you guys and have you participate or introduce yourselves, etc. There are some people on here that we would love to hear from to get an introduction from. I'm wondering. So Phoebe is actually one of our board of directors members, and she's joined us. And I don't know, Phoebe, if you can hear us, it would be great to see you on camera. Nee, likewise, you should be on camera. Asmi, if you're able to, please by all means be on camera. And there are others here. If you can introduce yourselves and just let us know what countries you're joining us from. So Mehdi, Mosba, if you could introduce yourself, Samuel, Savius, and Cedric and Hassan, if you guys can introduce yourselves, and then Phoebe as well.
I can kick it off. Hello and good afternoon. My name is Phoebe Dorr. I am in the middle of some things, so unfortunately, I will not be able to turn on my camera for today. But I am originally from Nairobi, Kenya. I settled in the Washington, D.C. area about 6 years ago, and I'm glad that I've been able to join this wonderful group of people, and I look forward to learning more today.
Okay. Thanks, Phoebe. Well, Hassan, if you want to introduce yourself, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're doing great.
Good. Tell us what city and country you're joining us from.
Actually, guys, I'm talking to you from Sudan.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because of the call, I went back to the home, but there's no electric. So I am on my bicycle to find the better place, even to listen to you carefully.
Gotcha. Okay. Glad you're joining us. Where in Sudan are you from?
Khartoum.
Okay. So we know that things are not going so well in Sudan right now. I hope you feel safe.
Oh yeah, we are safe in safe place. Yeah, me and with my family and my sister, we are in safe place. They came from the war, a very bad place, which is called Darfur. There was war.
Yeah.
people dying there.
Yeah. Well, Hassan, thank you for joining us, and
The-
look forward to having you.
I want to let you, uh, excuse me, I want to let you, I want to let my mom to say hi.
You want to let your what?
Yeah, your mom to say hi.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds good.
ثواني ما في مشكلة. اديكم العافية كيف. Okay, I want to let my mom to say I came home here to my mom. That was my me with my wife, and this is my mom house. If you get me, so here
Great.
is better clear, so I can understand. I can see you all. My mom, come. Excuse me. So I'm so sorry for all of you. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
let me while you're assembling your family, I'm going to put you on mute, Hassan, and let other people introduce themselves, and then you can come off of mute when you're ready. Are you okay? Are you ready?
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay, go.
okay.
Yeah, so hold on a second. Cedric, do you want to introduce yourself and your looks like your sons and where what city and country you're joining us from?
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Cedric Mungwanache. I'm from Rwanda in Kigali City. Yes, I'm together with my wife and my firstborn. Yes.
Fantastic. Good to meet you. Good to meet you and your son. How old is your son?
He is 2 years and a half.
Gotcha. Great. Great to see you. Welcome from the United States. Samuel Paulo, I think you're joining us from Angola, but I can't remember. Do you want to introduce yourself briefly? Samuel might be having trouble with his for some people having both audio and video is a problem. Hassan, do you want to have your mother introduce herself? From Hassan from Rwanda, excuse me, from Sudan. He may not hear us. Hassan, go ahead and if you would go ahead and introduce your mom. Okay, I
Paul,
think
I think you muted him.
Uh, I know I requested to unmute. I did mute him earlier, but I don't think he can hear us. Savius, do you want to introduce yourself? What city and country and where you're joining us from?
Oh, yes, thank you, Mr. Paul. Greetings to everyone here. I'm Savias Chasimire, tuning in from Uganda, Masaka City. I'm a mother and I'm married and a mother to 3 children. I'm glad to be here. I've been unable to attend the past few meetings because of motherly duties, but then I'm here today. Thank you so much, everyone.
Savius, you said where in Uganda? Because Joshua is from Kampala.
I'm from Masaka City.
Ah, Joshua, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, good to hear from you that you're from Masaka. Yes, my name is
Thank you.
Joshua. I'm here in Kampala. You're a distance away from me. Today I decided to attend this meeting with my family, a big family, because we've decided to go out celebrate one of my sisters who was just graduated from college. I'll just take a round pic, and then you can see, and then I'll introduce them briefly, and then I don't know whether.
We can kind of see. We can kind of see Joshua. Ah, there's your wife. Good to see you.
And that's my son, Nehemiah. So this is the graduate. Just introduce yourself. And hello, I'm Millie. Oh, should I change the? Is there a way you can change the? I mean the video.
What you can do, Joshua, is try to have all of you showing.
That's this is my brother. So we are here and we are catching up this meet together. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Great. And you may want to, yeah, it's up to you, but what you can do, Joshua, is like try to show everybody together, just do a like a selfie, if you wanted to do that. To present everybody, at least for recording purposes, it's great to see your whole family together. Um, I am going to let Atul in, who I think is joining us from I think he's joining us from India. I'm going to turn back to gallery view just so I see everybody because I believe that Shelley has joined us. And she's joined us with her daughter, which is great. So I think we're going to get started. So I just want to remind everybody that Shelley Antunia is my cousin's wife, who is joining us from Connecticut in the United States, and she is going to be presenting on her family, and then for about 10 minutes. And I think you've got slides. Is that correct, Shelley? Okay, so you should be able to show your slides and then we'll have discussion. And I encourage you in the meantime, during the while she's presenting, by all means, post questions or comments in the Zoom chat. I expect our FDs, our family diplomats and family diplomacy ambassadors, and also our interns to be doing that. So by all means, share comments and questions in the Zoom chat, and we'll get to those during the discussion after Shelley has presented. Shelley, do you want to
Yes.
go ahead?
All right. So let me just share my screen. Everybody see that okay?
I think it's coming on. It just may take a little bit. There it is. Yep.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So I went according to Paul's outline of what I should share. So where do we live? We're in the northeastern part of the United States in Connecticut. And I circled where we live. So we're right on the northern border of Connecticut. Actually, our backyard is Massachusetts. So we're pretty far north and it is really hot these last few weeks. So hot in the summer and cold in the winter. This is my family. So on the left side of the screen is myself and Doug, my husband. And on the right side are my four kids. So going from left to right, the first girl there is Olivia. She is my new daughter-in-law. And then her husband, Trevor. And then Melanie, Maggie, who's sitting next to me here, and myself and Spencer. So I did slides for each one of them, so I can just give you a little tidbit on each one of them.
And do you want to introduce your dogs? They're part of the family.
Oh, yeah, well, they're on this slide, so here we go. So I don't know why Doug has red lines on him, but this is my husband's slide. So he is a police officer. And he is obsessed with his two dogs. So the dogs there are Riggs and Sam. I think that they were purchased as replacements for his children who are quickly moving away as they become adults. Doug's job in the police department is to be a liaison between the churches in the city and the police department, trying to bridge that relationship, which has been grossly damaged over the last several years. So his job is community relations, working with churches, working with the homeless outreach. He works with PAL, which is the program for kids to be involved with the police athletic league. So it's kind of a fun job. As stressful as it is in the police department, he's in a good place. He's a lieutenant at this point and first in line for captain as soon as they make promotions. So I wonder, are these lines me?
I don't think they're you. I think they are Savius. Savius, you may be accidentally or something drawing lines on it. I wish I knew how to stop that, but I don't.
No worries.
Somebody has advice that, yeah.
As long as they're not me, I'm good. So this is my oldest, Melanie. She is in the Air Force National Guard. And she is a cargo loadmaster, so she travels a lot on the plane. She does airdrops all over the place. She's been to several different countries doing maneuvers and stuff. And at the end of this month, she will be deployed into active duty. Melanie is 27. Then Spencer is 25. I put these pictures here. He's a photographer, not by trade, just by hobby. But I think he does amazing work with his camera. Spencer graduated with a degree in computer science. He currently works at a garden center. When he was in high school, he worked in an agricultural science program through high school and has a huge passion for plants and gardening and things. So that's his current job. And he lives here at home. He's the only one of the 4 kids that still lives with Doug and I. Well, Maggie does until next week. But and this is Trevor and Olivia. They got married last week. So they're just starting their journey together. Trevor is he lives in Boston, Massachusetts, and he is a very talented musician. So he plays guitar and sings. He actually leads worship at a church that they're planting in East Boston. So he's a worship leader, and he works as a barista in a coffee shop. That's why there's a cup of coffee there with his latte art in it. And he graduated with a degree in entrepreneurial business. And so he is starting up a business doing online marketing and web development for construction companies. So a little niche market, and he's got his first client so far going really well. Olivia, my daughter-in-law, is still in college. She has 1 more semester, and then she'll do her student teaching, and then she'll be an elementary school teacher within the next year. Then there's Maggie. I wasn't expecting Maggie to be sitting next to me, so I scoured her Instagram account. Maggie is awesome. I'm getting choked up because you're here. Sorry. This kid, she's always smiling. Loves her faith. She's a Jesus girl all the way, and will share her faith with anyone she comes in contact with. She's amazing. And tissue. And she is moving to Virginia next week. She's going to be living in Lynchburg, and with some friends. It's time for her to just spread her wings a little. She has an associate's degree in liberal arts and not sure what she wants to do, but she's just going to move down there, find a job, and be a young person for a little while.
You know that means that Maggie, you're going to have to visit us in Washington, D.C. because you're not that far.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's obligatory.
Okay.
Yes. And so Paul asked for one big issue. I thankfully don't have big issues in my life. But so the one thing that I came up with is that we are a conservative family with a strong Christian faith, and find that in today's society in the United States, that's not okay all the time. And so hard to explain, but I feel like we are being encouraged to be very tolerant of other religions, other beliefs, other positions, but the climate of the communities are that no one has to be tolerant of us as Christians. So that was my one big issue, but it's not an issue that I'm like, I just, you know what I mean? I'm not walking around angry or bothered. It's just something that kind of comes up here and there. As a teacher, I have to keep my my beliefs and values to myself, and sometimes that's hard to not encourage my students because I'm not allowed to, in the way that with my values. And it's not even like talking to them about Jesus. It's even like my values of being a good person are kind of like, well, you can't share that, you know? So that's the only thing I came up with, but that's about it. And so I AI'd my response, and it said, in today's complex world, Christian families face a variety of challenges, with one significant issue being navigating modern societal values that can conflict with traditional Christian beliefs, particularly in areas like sexuality, marriage, gender roles, materialism, and digital distractions. So as in my family, I am very traditional in my marriage. I am the wife. I take care of my family. I cook. I don't clean. Maggie does that. So, but I have friends that are like, give me a lot of hate because I take care of my husband. Like, that's frowned upon. They can't stand that I do that. I pack his lunch in the morning when he goes to work, and they're like, "Are you what? Kidding me?" I get kind of frowned upon. So that's all. That's all I got.
So this is awesome, Shelley. I'm gonna stop sharing, at least on my
Yeah.
screen.
I
Oops.
was gonna. Oh, here, stop share. I got it.
Yeah, stop sharing, and then allow us to see each other. So um, uh, actually, before we jump into questions and discussion, and by the way, Maggie, it would be great to hear from you and your perspective when you have a moment. But I wanted, because I tend to forget these things, I want to take a photo of everybody. We do this at every dialogue. So if you can turn on your cameras, for those of you who can turn on your cameras. Now I'm going to take a photo in 3 seconds on three. One, two, three, smile. Fantastic. Thanks for obliging me here. Questions, discussion, etc., and so forth. But Maggie, do you want to share anything based upon your mom's presentation first?
I don't know.
Do you find that
Hard?
you kind of surround yourself with Christian people?
Like my community is very Christian, and so I feel like I don't come in contact with that issue as much. But I've seen it in like little moments in life, but not like she sees it because a lot of my community, like I was saying, believes in the same things I do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And when you move to Lynchburg, you're moving in with people who are Christian.
Yeah.
Here, gotcha. Um, so questions, comments, et cetera, and so forth. Keeping in mind, of course, we come to this with different views and so on, but we have to respect each other. Thoughts? Otherwise, I'm going to pick on you guys. I'm particularly going to pick on our interns who need to be contributing, and our former interns, Adrian, hint, hint. And my family. Where's Hannah, by the way? Hannah's my I'm terrible with these family relations things. She's my grand niece, I think it is. Hey, Hannah. So you guys are muted, but yeah, if you could do as Tice has done. Tice is our model family diplomat, by the way. She faithfully attends our dialogues. She's highly participatory. So it's great to have her with us. Tice and Adrian, do you guys want to share? And by all means, raise your hand if electronically.
Hi. I had two questions. Your daughter who's in the Air Force. My son is a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps, and my husband was a Marine, my dad is a Marine, but I'm finding it very difficult being the mom of a Marine. So how do you navigate? Is it hard for you? She's been in what, 6, 7 years?
She has probably longer than that since she was 19. So, and she's 27 now. So,
Okay.
yeah. But she, oh, so I have peace about it because she's exactly where she's supposed to be. She loves it. She is passionate about it. This will be her first trip that she's at an active base in Africa. And so we'll see how this one goes. I mean, she's traveled to Japan and Uruguay and a bunch of different places, but to do practice maneuvers, this is the first base that she's going to that's active. So that's a little unnerving, but even with my husband in the police department, it's definitely a calling, and they're where they're supposed to be. So.
Shelley, where in Africa is she going to be based? Because we have a number of people here from Africa.
Yeah, I'm not sure I am supposed to share that.
Okay. You can't even share the country?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
She'll be East Coast, Africa.
Tice, did you have a second question?
Also, you had mentioned that there is some tension between the community and the police department or the police force. I was wondering, is there one single incident, or is it just something over time that's kind of degraded that relationship?
So, well, all of the situation surrounding like George Floyd and those types of things that have gone around in the country have led to defunding of the police and a lot of anger within the communities. Hartford, not so bad as other parts of the country, but they did pull out over $100,000 of funding for the police department, which gets the police department a little disgruntled in that they're not being supported. And then, and so I think Doug sees it most in the young people, like that younger population, guys that are in their, girls and guys that are in their like 20s, that age range. Just like they show up to events where they have to police, and these young people are spitting on the police cars and just kind of like sharing some real strong anger. And in Hartford, there are not a, there are not a lot of cases where the police are being unfair at like all of that media stuff that's going on around. So um, the Hartford police are feeling that it's unjustified because it's not happening in their community. They're working really hard to not have that happen. So his job working with the churches and doing community walks and things like that are it's really helping to promote a good community
Okay.
gatherings. So
I was going to ask about that because I know there's a push to go back to community policing, to just kind of reframe how the work and then also how the police department's seen.
yeah, so Doug was put into the position before all of this. So it wasn't in response to anything that's going on around in the country, but it's more important now that he's doing it, and good that he was established prior to everything so that he can keep it going.
Thank you.
So would love to hear from some of our people from not from the United States. So Atul, I believe you're joining us from India. I would love to get your perspective or questions. Chia, who is joining us from United Arab Emirates, but who's from Cameroon. Hassan, who is from Sudan. Joshua and Savius, who are from Uganda. Nusrat, who's from Bangladesh, Mehdi, who I don't know where he's from, and Cedric, who I believe is joining us from, I think it was Rwanda, but I'm not sure. We'd love to hear from you guys if you have questions or comments. I'm particularly interested to get back to what Shelley's been raising as her big issue, which is that this kind of tension between people who are faithful to a particular religion and people who are non-faithful in a very secular, secularizing world. In other words, where growing numbers of people are becoming not faithful to a particular religion. But we've got Madeline who's got her hand up, and I think she does want to raise that, I guess, point about that. Madeline?
Yeah, so I actually, a lot of my family lives in Lynchburg, Virginia, and I know like Liberty University, there's like a very big presence. All of my cousins attended, my aunts attended originally. That's why they moved there. And I was just kind of wondering what you think the difference between Connecticut, which is definitely, more northeast, where people may be more opposing to conservative values or to even faith-based households versus Lynchburg, which will definitely be a switch where in that case, it's definitely, I think, abnormal to not be within the evangelical Christian faith. And where very much the town is centered on all of those values and centered on the university, which upholds those values.
So I think that's part of the reason you like that Lynchburg area, right?
Yeah, one big reason is like there's a huge college community out there, but also because like a ton of my friends that are out there go to Liberty. Um, are you asking like the difference between the two? Okay.
I guess maybe like growing up in Connecticut, how you've maybe seen that being a difference to what you're maybe expecting from
Yeah.
Virginia.
Well, like growing up in Connecticut, I went to public elementary school in our town, and then I went to public high school, like town over, because we don't have a high school in our town. But like going to that high school, like none of my friends were Christian. So it was definitely like different at that time because like if I talked about going to church and stuff, they just didn't like understand why. And I wasn't super strong in my faith yet either, so I didn't like share a lot with them because I didn't know a lot. But there was definitely that difference of like some of my friends maybe didn't love hanging out with me because I had the title of being a Christian. And so I feel like that would be a lot different than living in Lynchburg because like when you are surrounded by that Christian community, like people aren't necessarily being like, oh, why do you go to church? Because it's also part of their life.
It's more of the norm.
Yeah, it's more normal than like growing up, going to high school and things like that. People were kind of confused by why I lived my life that way.
Mm. So would love to hear, particularly on this issue of the tension between people who are faithful to a religion, people who are not faithful to a religion. From those of you who are coming from other countries, Atul, do you want, I mean, and I believe you're
Yeah,
coming from India. Do you want to tell us where city and country you're coming from?
yeah. Thanks a lot, Paul. It's been a long time. I always wanted to join you guys, but somehow it happens today, and I'm absolutely honored and very glad that I'm able to be with you. I didn't know what are the kind of topics that you people cover, but I heard the lady with the daughter sitting next to her, and the kind of religiousness that she has. I'm really stunned. I really liked it. And yeah, so I come from a city near Mumbai in India, and I am an architect. My age is about 64 now, and my wife is a medico, and my son is doing a diploma in pharmacy, and my wife has a daughter. I'll talk about that a little later, maybe. And yeah, so my father has been a very, very renowned architect of this region. Unfortunately, we lost him 2 years ago. And yeah, now coming to the point of religion, I was in England till year 1991. And I had a wonderful couple, John Millard and Sarah Jane Millard. They both married in 1987 in England, where I was with them. And they were very Christian, very devout Christian. And John was a very wonderful person, and he's an architect in New Jersey, and he was devout Christian, and he used to take me along with all the Christian meetings to the churches and all that. So I enjoyed, because in India, this was in 1989, and I never knew how Christian life is. So he introduced me to various churches in England. We used to go. I used to enjoy dance and sing, etc. That's when I realized how Christian families are so well faithful and etc. Of course, the Indian community in India, the Christianity is very strong. And lately, about 5 or 6 years ago, just before the Corona thing, I had an opportunity to work with an architect friend of mine, Roland Mendonça. He was my batchmate earlier at the college, but now when I work with him, and he's a very devout Christian. His three sons are all living in USA. One is the doctor in USA. One is an architect in USA. Another son was something in USA and now returned to India, etc. So even in India, the Christian families are doing fantastic. So I think the Indian people respect the Christians a lot. But yes, there are some problems sometimes, some Christians, Christian popes, or people who go and convert some local people to Christianity. That's when some problems emerge. But I think these are small incidents which do happen everywhere. So, but India is a very broad country, and we accept people of all faith, and they are doing fine, absolutely fine. And I'm really honored that we India and America has a very wonderful relationship with each other. So yeah, and just to talk about myself, I just stopped my architecture practice a while for now, and I'm trying to set up for my son a IT academy so that I can teach to primary school students, secondary school students up to age 18 some IT related activities such as drones, AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, drones, and robotics, or maybe space science related. So these are the activities I'm thinking of doing it. I got a lot of companies who offer franchise to set up a school of that kind, which will work after school hours. So the schools normally end here in the afternoon around 2 o'clock. And after 2 till 8 in the evening, we will market our business and then expect students to join us. And my son and I, we will teach them, etc. So that's the thing happening at the moment. So that's about me. I think I'm just for the first time I'm joining you all. So maybe I should stop here and
Yeah.
hear to the other people. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Thank
Atul,
you so much,
just
Paul.
a quick question for you. Are you Hindu? Is your family Hindu?
Yes, we are Hindu. Yeah.
Gotcha. Um,
Yeah, we are Hindu and we are a weaver family. So my family does a lot of fabric weaving and all that on handloom earlier and now powerloom. So they do a lot of towel manufacturing and bed sheets and some other textile products. But that was my grandfather, my community rather. It's a weaver community, but we changed into architecture and business development and real construction industry. And another uncle of mine, he does underground sanitation, manufacturing, fabrication in steel for one chamber to the other on the street. You need to do the cleaning of the chambers. So that's a power bucket machines that they manufacture. So
okay.
these are the things in my family at the moment. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thanks,
Wonderful.
Atul. We'd love to hear from any of our participants from Africa. So Hassan, Chia, Cedric. Cedric, did you want to say something? Share, and particularly if you can on religion, if you practice a particular religion, and if you feel some tensions between religious or non-religious people, or between different groups of religious people, and remind us of your country. I think it was Rwanda, but I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like you are muted somehow. Oh, it looks like, yeah, you're still muted. You may want to turn off your Zoom and then turn it back on. Come back in. It may have been that your voice was your audio was deactivated somehow.
Sometimes when that happens with mine, I have to restart the computer. Today I had to
Yeah.
reinstall Zoom. That's why I was so much later than I thought.
Yeah, so it may be yeah, Cedric, you may have to just get off of the Zoom and get back on, and then we can have you speak. Um,
So, Paul, in the chat, it looks like, and I don't know if I'm saying this name right, but Nghi.
yeah, you know what? I only have, interestingly enough, it looks like I don't have any messages in my chat, and I'm wondering
Okay.
why that is.
Well, this person, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right,
Hi,
is
sorry.
asking.
Yeah, you pronounced my name right.
I did need. Okay.
Thank you.
If we've lived anywhere outside of Connecticut. So I personally have lived in California for a short stint. And but our family only in Connecticut. And three of my four children went to a boarding high school out in Minnesota, which was a Christian high school. So not a ton of experience in other areas of the country as far as our faith and within the community goes. But you're asking if Maggie is planning on getting a bachelor's? Okay, so not at this time.
No.
Maggie is severely dyslexic. So she's amazing. She is a reader at this point. She went through a lot of hard work to get to where she's at, but school is hard for her. And so she got her associate's degree in liberal arts, but until she decides what she wants to major in, she's not going to continue until it's focused.
Yeah.
So having a liberal arts degree is great, but she feels like she really wants to decide before
I
she
also
continues.
don't see why I should spend a ton of money if I don't know what I want to do yet.
Very wise decision, Maggie. There are lots of students who are wasting a lot of money not knowing exactly what they want to do. So, um, others here, Cedric, do you want to try again? Ah, okay.
All
Yeah.
right, and then so Paul said, then Joseph Tolles
Yeah, hold on a second because I just want to instruct Cedric and then
All right,
Cedric,
sorry.
what I would recommend you do is turn off your computer entirely or your phone and then turn it back on. So you'll have to get off of the Zoom and then just turn off your computer or your laptop or your phone. Just turn it off completely and then turn it back on. And that's, I think, it's the only other ways that I know of that you might be able to reactivate your voice, your audio. Okay.
Yes.
No, now we can hear you, it sounds like.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now we can hear you. Go ahead, Cedric.
Yes, I'm Cedric from Rwanda. It is in East Africa. Yes, we are just near Uganda, Tanzania. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, for me, I can say that I'm in a religion. I'm a Christian. I'm also a church leader. I'm a Christian church leader. I'm evangelist. Even my wife is evangelist. So here in Rwanda, 95 people, no, 99% are Christians. Yes, but in this day we had some challenges with other pastors who are robbing from the community, who are stealing their money, telling them the lies. So, but now in Rwanda, most of the church are closed. They are putting regulation so that no pastor, no church can do things which are not related to the government.
Oh,
Because some people are stealing from Christians. Yeah, it's something which is not good. But we have also communities with other people. We have some people who are believing in the culture. They are praying the the country gods. We call it Jangombe. It is in our culture, but the Christianity we have, it was brought from white people, and it is very deep here in Rwanda, very deep, very deep.
Hmm.
Yes, but
And
we live in yeah.
yeah, and so Cedric, it sounds like it's, if I'm understanding you correctly, it is Christian pastors in some cases who are stealing from their own congregations. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, those churches, that's why the government is putting serious regulation on churches. They want good churches with good breeding, with a good impact to the community. So without scamming the community.
Yeah. Shelley, do you want to speak to the family, I believe, and the that from the Democratic Republic of Congo that you guys sponsored and supported, but also just speak to whatever Cedric has shared?
so we it's a really long story, but we met a man, Barnaby from the Democratic Republic of Congo. He was a Christian man from there with a family and had gotten arrested by a militia group or taken into custody of some sort and ended up being hospitalized from beatings that had happened in that arrest. And so while he was in the hospital, I believe a priest at the hospital bribed a guard or something and allowed him to escape. So he escaped and eventually got to the United States, applied for political asylum. That's where we came in. We supported him and helped him get political asylum. And then we helped him to petition for his family to come. So they're all here now. All of his kids have gone through college. He had actually 4 of the 5 of them have graduated from college. His oldest daughter just got married, And Barnaby is a homeowner in Connecticut, living with his wife. So a lot of success there, a lot of good things that have happened. But I don't know, what else would you say about Barnaby?
And you guys still keep in touch with him?
Oh yeah, yeah. I just talked to him last week.
Okay.
Yeah, and talked to his daughter all the time. His daughter, after she got married, she texted me and asked me what the secret to a good marriage is.
So what did you answer her?
So she's a Christian woman, so I could answer faithfully and just say, live your marriage the way God designed it, and everything falls into place. His picture of marriage was a perfect picture, as long as we don't get ourselves in the way of what God envisioned for us. So
And Shelley, how long have you guys been married, you and Doug?
it'll be 28 years in December.
Awesome. Joe, I'm sorry, you did write a comment in here, and Shelley wanted to get to it. Did you want to speak, Joe?
Sure. So first of all, I was born and raised in New York and now live in Alabama. So my comments and my question has to do with sort of the difference between religion and Christianity. And so, I was a little surprised to hear that you didn't have a sort of a Christian support group in Connecticut in the way that you, because I felt when I was in New York, although there were many religions, that there was always a base. And here in Alabama, the difference is that there are a lot of religions here, and I would say that they are more judgmental against each other, and it's almost like building like little like I don't know, little it's not this. So anyway, the issue that I'm seeing in the United States these days is that people who are not necessarily as faithful by attending church and doing God's work are claiming Christianity to support the political situation. And so my question is how do you navigate the difference between being a traditional Christian with the politics of the day?
So personally, I don't separate my political views from my Christian values. So the candidate that I would vote for, I would measure up against the values that I have as a Christian person, and hope that it's really hard to find a politician that fits into that, but as closely as possible. So we like to say separation of church and state, but I don't feel like that happens in our hearts of hearts. So
Can I say something?
yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, listen. This guy Joseph spoke really well. I mean, coming from the New York and those areas, his question is to understand how the religious thing and the politics do the things maybe in a wrong way. I could just give you a perspective in my country very shortly. You see, right now we have a government in the center which is very religious minded. Okay, I mean they're extremely so religious that they're playing politics in a very interesting way. Also, they're taking the country ahead, but they are playing the religion part in a very strong way, unlike the previous government. Okay, we had a the previous government ruled for over 50 years, 60 years. It was called the INC, International Congress. whereas the present is the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, which is a strongly a religious fanatic group, basically. They don't show it that way, but they play it in a very tacit way, and they're all priests. They come from a priest community, most of them. So basically, the Indian religion and the Indian government presently is ruled by the priestly communities. So they're called Brahmins, you know. So most of they make policies. They think they are very intelligent. They think they have a high brain power, etc. So that's how the things are here. But I think America has a lot to learn from India in a broader perspective. Let alone and leave aside what India had earlier and what India has now.
Mm.
But India has one thing: it accommodates all religions and tries to work with them as positively as possible. I don't know if that's the case in USA. That's why I think what Joseph was saying: how do you negotiate and how do you manage the thing between the politics and the religion? As if religion is making things difficult. I don't know if it is so. If it is so, then I think America has to think how to mediate and how to manage. I think the component of spirituality is very important. You know, I think that is missing in USA in larger way. I think in India, you have spirituality in every sector of the ministry, be it trade, commerce, law, or whatever. You know, we have a spiritual base. I think that is missing in USA. But again, USA is also accommodative because there are lots of American or Indian and Asian and Oriental philosophies working in USA. But when it comes to national theme or for example, how Joseph was saying that some communities find it difficult, etc. So I think I made my point. Yeah, I don't want to stretch too long. Yeah.
So,
In,
so
in,
I hear what you're saying, but in the United States, our politicians have to serve all the people. So they have to serve the people who have a religious or a faith-based perspective, and they also have to serve those who do not. And so it's a hard balance. If you come in with a faith base, and I'm going to do everything filled with faith, are you really serving the other part of the community that does not have that faith? And how are you serving them? How are you doing them justice if you're ignoring the fact that that they don't believe that? So
yeah, in general, I'm Christian
Yeah.
no matter what.
So sorry to interrupt, Paul.
Okay.
Let me speak to Shelley. Listen, I heard what you said. How spiritual is USA? I think it's the spiritual factor which is very important. That may be missing. So if you have a strong spiritual faith, to be accommodative and then deal with softness, that I don't know how far that prevails or doesn't prevail.
Okay, so I need to let Joe speak and then just wrap this up because we're at time and I want to respect all your time. So Joe, do you want to go ahead?
Just to sort of wrap up, I'm Christian no matter where I am and what I do. And I don't need to be part of a team, and I need to be Christian to be able to navigate the deception maybe or the trickery or the lore to be part of a team to support things that are not Christian. And so I think that's a really confusing issue for a lot of people here in the United States. And it's sort of, like Shelley said, putting people who know who they are faithfully, and this goes for any religion, I guess, in a position where they have to defend themselves. And I don't have to defend myself. I don't have to engage. I am going to be, true to my values.
Yeah. So I am so glad, Shelley, that you presented and Maggie that you joined us because I think we do need to be talking about religion and family. And I think your last point was a really good one about how do you navigate. I would agree with you personally that I don't think we should necessarily be separating religion and politics so firmly. However, as you put it, we have to have politicians who are speaking to the variety of people in our country, religious, non-religious, different religions, et cetera, and so forth, if we're going to have a country that, we all want to live in. And it's a hard needle to thread. But unfortunately, we don't have the time to do this, but go back to that, list of things that were your concerns that you put in your presentation, because I think there's a lot of common ground there. There are a lot, for instance, of an enormous amount of concern about religious and non-religious people about the internet and the influence of the internet on kids and families and so on. And there's huge common ground. And I think venues like this can be places where we find that common ground, right? Where we care about certain things in common, and that can be, one of many. Yeah, and this also just helps to humanize people who are different from us. So I'm glad that you guys participated. I'm glad we got to hear some viewpoints from different places. Atul, glad you participated. I hope you can participate with us again and with your family. Hassan, who is joining us from Sudan, I hope you'll be able to participate as well. I want to thank you all for joining us. Our next dialogue is on September 7th. So it's the first Sunday of September. And we don't actually have a speaker for that. We have a speaker for October, family from the United States. And then November, we have a family from Canada. But we need a family from from somewhere outside the United States for September 7th. So if you have any interest in presenting about your family, please let me know. We would be happy to consider you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Shelley and Maggie, thanks for participating and presenting. Maggie, good luck. And you have to, as I mentioned, you've got to pass by DC and visit us. We're expecting to see you on your way
Okay.
to Virginia. All right, guys. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.